Betting Public Sports Show. I'm your beloved host, famed Rothstein, aka Michael Snackson, aka Bay O Wolf, aka Malcolm Excellence, aka Hacksaw Jim Thuggin. Today's Saturday, August 31st, 2024. Let's make sure we like, subscribe, sign up for notifications, leave comments, and share this channel. All right. Like I said, I don't just do sports betting. I give you little pop culture takes and things like that. You know, it's just kind of an all-purpose channel. You can get a little bit of everything here. All right. But yeah, please like and subscribe, leave comments, and share the content here. Last time we come out, Thursday, we were 2-2. Okay. The two we lost Coach Prime and them, Colorado Buffaloes. We had them minus 11 or whatever against North Dakota State, and they won. It just didn't win the bet for us. And we also on that night we had North Carolina and Minnesota going over 50 points. They didn't do that. They didn't even get in the 40s. Two horribly played offensive games. However, that happens. And then the two we won, we had Toledo covering over 28.5 points against Duquesne. Smoked them by like 39. They cracked them like 49-10, something like that. And then the last one we won was Sacramento State at San Jose. We took San Jose State on the money line, and they won. They smoked them by like almost 20 points. They were only favored by like 3. And see, that's the thing. I took them on the money line. I took them so early in the week, it was minus 175. By the time that game kicked off, it was like minus 135. So depending on when you bet that game, assuming you did, you made a lot more money than I did, okay? But I digress. We got action today, okay? We got 4 today again. 4 again today. All right. For some reason, I like the numbers 3 and 4, okay? But that brings us 3 and 3 on the season. That 2-2 Thursday day, all right? And we got 4 more today, all right? 2 of them are at noon, so let me get you started here, all right? First one, UConn at Maryland. Okay, this is week 1 of the college football season. UConn at Maryland, and we've got UConn 3-9 last year. Jim Moore Jr., the first year's head coach there. They scored 19, gave up 21. 21 is a very good number to only give up. I don't care what your level of college football is. If you only give up 21, that's a damn good number. They ran for 4.1 yards a carry. They gave up 4.2 yards a carry. 4.2 giving up's a little high. It's getting toward bad. But the 4.1 running for, that's trending toward great, all right? To help with those numbers on offense, they've got a Wisconsin transfer quarterback, Nick Evers, okay? And like I said, they scored 19 a game, gave up 21. They're going to Maryland to take on the Terrapins, They're going to serve them in the home of the Terrapins, all right? Maryland last year was 8-5, 4-5 last year in the Big Ten. They returned 5 offensive starters, 6 defensive starters, all right? But they lose their quarterback, and that's going to be significant for a team like Maryland. Losing your quarterback because they're not fun and gun like Spurrier back in the 90s, but they are a pass kind of happy offense. That's why they got Tua's brother, NFL quarterback Tua. His little brother was the quarterback. He transferred, and I think that's going to be more significant to them than it is to UConn having their new quarterback. Right now, UConn is a 20-point underdog. Took it to minus 21. And that's for minus 134 odds. And that's what I'm going to take. I'm going to take UConn minus 21 for minus 134 odds, right? And then the second noon game, we're going to Atlanta, where we're going to see the Clemson Tigers of South Carolina going to Atlanta to take on them down south Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia Bulldogs, consensus number one team in the country, all right? Why this is a noon game, I have no idea. But somehow it's a noon game. Clemson returned 8 offensive players, including Clay Kubnik, who completed 64% of his passes last year, over 2,800 yards passing, 19 touchdowns against 19 interceptions to get them to a 9-4 record, 4-4 in the ACC. Okay, they scored 29.8 points a game, only gave up 21.1, which is damn good. Okay. They returned 3 defensive players. All right. Now I got to be honest with you. I don't like your boy at all. Your coach, Dabo Swinney. He's one of the most inorganic characters I've ever seen in my life. There's just something about the guy that just rubs me the wrong way. I'm not a fan of his. And that's why it's going to be good to see him get whipped by Georgia. Georgia, who got robbed in the CFP last year. Remember, last year was only taking 4. This year it takes 12. That won't happen to him this year. Like I said, consensus number one. They returned Carson Beck, their quarterback. He completed 72% of his passes last year. And he's one of the Heisman front runners already. Now, I don't know what the Heisman odds are now after Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter did what they did on Thursday night. But Beck came in at plus 600. So he's as good as, he was as good as favorite as anybody. All right. And I think it's going to be pleasurable to watch Georgia wig that ass. Georgia going to beat the brakes off of Clemson. Okay? Clemson had their little run, little 4, 5, 6-year run. Georgia's here to stay. They're the new Alabama. Okay? Clemson was supposed to knock off Alabama. They didn't. Georgia really didn't either. Saban just retired. I mean, because, Alabama beat Georgia last year. But Georgia's clearly going to be the next Alabama. All right? The U. Oklahoma in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? They got players getting arrested and shit. They winning titles. They getting robbed. They just whooping people ass. Miami, asked them against Notre Dame in 88 what happened. Okay? So, having said that, we're going chalk. All right? We're going to take Georgia. The game started at 13.5, and now it's down to 11.5. Or 11, it could be anything at kickoff because odds change as the night goes and everything. I just think that anything under two touchdowns, Georgia's gonna crack them. Anything under 2, you'll be safe. But I'm just gonna go ahead and take the spread minus 11 right now. All right, Georgia. Then at 7 p.m., we've got the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, UNLV, at Houston, the Cougars. Now, UNLV, I should say, you ask me, they had a one-off year last year. A one-off year. What I mean by that is, get enough transfers and returning players. Everybody's 23, 24 for their senior year and shit. And, they go off and they have a good year, for the program. Because UNLV, other than they had some good players in the 70s and 80s in college hoop, 90s. That first part of the 90s, they ran shit. But other than that, in sports, they ain't got nothing. Because especially a sport that requires so much discipline like football, sound like Las Vegas is not going to have many 9-5 seasons. And that just depends on how many, 1AA teams they play. You're not going to get many seasons like that. I mean, put it like this. This is how distracting you in the city of Las Vegas is. Suge Knight played at UNLV. If you know, you know. If you don't know, go Google SUGEKNIGTH. Suge Knight. Okay? And they're playing Houston. Okay, the Cougs. They're coming with a new quarterback or a new head coach because Daniel Holgerson has been replaced with the former Tulane coach Willie Fritz, who was 23-4 at Tulane. So he's used to having success over there. Okay, um, Houston was 4-8 last year with a 2-7 record. Uh, Gave up 31 and a half a game. They scored 23.7, which is pretty solid. Okay, they come back with their quarterback Donovan Smith. You know, he threw 2,800 yards last year. So, you know, Houston, you look at their numbers, then you look at who the fact they're playing UNLV. You're like, Houston at home against UNLV, money line minus 135. We're jumping on that, okay? We're going to take Houston money line, all right, against the running Rebels. Then the last game of the day, 10:30 p.m. start, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, all times Eastern on the Betting Public Sports Show, right? We've got the 0-1 already, New Mexico Lobos going to Arizona to take on the Wildcats. New Mexico 0-1. They got beat at home. Got beat in the fourth quarter at home. Got outcoached, outplayed at home by an FCS team, a Division I AA team, Montana State. We had that game. We had it going over 52. The final was in the 60s because Montana State just beat the brakes off of them in the fourth quarter. Scored like 17 or some shit. You know, we clearly hit that over. Yeah, Bronco Mendenhall. I mean, you know, it's just there's just some places it's just gonna be too tough to recruit. You're gonna have to pay somebody. Like, I mean, I don't want to, you know, advise any illegal shit, but I mean, you know, with the NIL anyway. I mean, damn. You know, the Roswell Foundation gonna have to go pay for a Travis Hunter. You know what I'm saying? A Carson Beck or something. That's the only way you're gonna get players in New Mexico. Conversely, Arizona, you know, they're usually good one every, you know, 3 or 4 years. I mean, they've been down over the past, you know, most of the past 20 years, but they're solid. You know, they got a little pipeline of players down there in the LA and um, Las Vegas area, so they got a good recruiting base they can get a lot of players from. Okay, Brent Brennahelm, the head coach, had them at 10-3 last year. This year, he brings in a new offensive coordinator who was a former head coach, Dino Babers, up there at Syracuse. All right, who will be the offensive coordinator of a team that scored 34.6 last year and only gave up 21.1. And if you're going to give up 31 points to a FCS team, New Mexico, a team that's a P5 team, P4 it is now, like a P4 team like Arizona is, you're going to get steamrolled. Right now, Arizona's a 31-point favorite. I think they're going to beat it by 5 touchdowns, if not more. So go ahead and take that chalk. If you know you want to push it up, you can go as high as 35. You know 30, you'll get some plus money on that. But I think Arizona is going to just mollywop them. All right. So we're going to take Arizona minus 31. All right. So let's recap. Okay, 2 noon games. First one, UConn and Maryland. We're taking UConn plus 21 minus 134 odds. Second noon game, Clemson, Georgia. We're taking Georgia minus 11. 110 minus 110 odds, all right? 7 p.m. UNLV at Houston. We're taking Houston on the money line minus 135 odds. And 10:30 p.m. New Mexico at Arizona. We're taking Arizona chalk minus 131. You can go up as minus 31, not minus 131. Minus 31. You can go as high as probably minus 35 and still be safely covered at, all right? So there you have it. You got plenty of time to get online, get in line, and get to the bag. And you know the show's motto: there's games to be played, there's money to be made. We should be back Thursday. If not, we'll definitely be back next Saturday. All right. But I expect it will be back both Thursday and Saturday. Got no action for you tomorrow. I'm not doing that game or the Monday game. All right. We're gonna walk into the season slowly. 3-3. We're gonna bust out here on them in a week here. All right. Probably starting today. But until then, everybody, be well and peace.